The 13 U.S. troops killed in the Kabul airport bombing return home in caskets draped in American flags. Congressman Jack Bergman, the Republican from Michigan, joins me now. Congressman, you say the troops' deaths were a failure of leadership. That's very strong stuff, Congressman.
Well, I spent a little time in the Marine Corps,
Yeah.
and any time a Marine is put into harm's way, it's a direct reflection of the leadership that sent them there and for whatever reason. Let's get out and down with the bottom line up front. Secretary Blinken needs to go. When you become a secretary of anything, but let's say in this case, Department of State, your job is to lead, not just do policy, not sit in the bunker and do policy, but lead by example. This has been just an abysmal failure because of the lack of coordination between state, DOD, defend, contract, whatever it happens to be, just an abysmal failure of epic proportions that will probably be studied in universities in the future is how not to do something.
What about the Department of Defense? Austin, the Defense Secretary, should he go? What about National Security, Jake Sullivan? Should he go too?
Well, I'll tell you what, in the military, we understand you're either the supported command or the supporting command. In this case, state is the supported command and defense is supporting. So I'll reserve any comment I have on Secretary Austin until we find out what exactly happened with leaving the equipment there, beyond accountability. I mean, I'm a Vietnam vet, and when we got into harm's way and had to leave, let's say, a helicopter somewhere, we destroyed it in place so that the enemy couldn't use it. I'll reserve judgment on how DOD had its plans together before I make comment on that. But this was avoidable because it was predictable, and that's where the failure of leadership comes in.
Well, now what, Congressman? We're leaving as of 3:29 Eastern Time tomorrow afternoon. We're gone out of Kabul. We're leaving behind probably tens of thousands of people who want out. Are we now moving into a mass hostage situation?
Well, I would suggest to you that we may be leaving technically, but we're not leaving the area, and we're not going to leave our Afghan partners who worked with us over these decades to fight the radical extremists that were the reason we went to Afghanistan in the first place. It's going to look different, but we need to show our NATO partners, especially, and other allies around the world, that the United States just doesn't cut and run and just leave everybody hanging.
What exactly are you talking about? Special operations forces going in quietly to take people out?
I would suggest to you it's going to be what we use everything now as a hybrid operation, and it's not going to be over the horizon. Over the horizon is flat too far away. An example, Djibouti, Horn of Africa. We have a base operation in Djibouti we've had for decades. In fact, our Marines built it back in the early 2000s because the bad guys train out in the mountains of Ethiopia. We need to have capabilities literally on the ground and in the air, able to reach out and touch these people on a moment's notice. But that all involves good actionable intel, which you really only get by having boots on the ground. So again, any good operation is successful because it's a surprise to those who would do us harm. So I will, again, reserve my comments here, but to keep it in an unclassified way.
Congressman, look, thank you very much for being with us at a very important time. We appreciate it, sir. Thank you.